the thing with you is that not a lot bothers you. You know, I'll be like, this isn't happening in my life, something's happening with my career, and you're like, it's okay. It's just all going to be okay.
It's easier when you're the outsider though. When it's your own shit, it's a lot harder.
Do you get stressed about your own career?
Although, I don't know whether to say it without being arrogant, but I've never worried about my career.
Yeah,
it was
I
the
know
one
you
thing.
haven't.
Career and money never bothered me. I didn't go into my life going, I must be this, I must do that. I just knew that ideally I wanted to write books and have a column and travel, and I've made that happen.
Yeah.
I think if you have that loose goal and you just love what you do, it will come.
You'll get there, yeah.
The things that I did stress about, like relationships and boys and that stuff, that always was tumultuous because you're overthinking it. And sometimes if you just feel like you're doing the right thing, the universe will support it and it works out.
Yeah.
So I'm never worried about career, never worried about money. Like the few moments I've worried about money, it was like something out of The Secret, because I quit full-time work when I was finished at Print and I just went to blogging from home a few days a week. And I suddenly had this thing, I'm like, holy shit, I've been full-time work since I left uni now. I've never not had a desk job. And then I opened the mail and I had 3 checks in the mail. And who even gets checks anymore? Yeah. My mum was probably for $30 from Medicare, but it was just a little sign. Yeah, it was just a thing going, don't worry about money. It's okay. Yeah. So I'm a big believer in the universe, to the point of annoyance sometimes. Yeah. But
I agree though. You know, I think if, you know, and I did speak about this with Chrissy too, if you put it out there, you work toward, I think you've actively got to work towards it.
Yeah, you do.
But I do think the universe, and the little things like that, the signs where it's like, okay, everything's going to be okay here. And if you believe in it and do the active work to it, it has to be okay.
And you have to play little games, because sometimes if you're losing focus or feeling like shit's getting you down, I play a game where I'm like, all right, I'm going to manifest something small, like my favourite number 8. And then I'll see 3 8s within 24 hours. But it's just a good reminder of whatever you want to see, you'll see, whether that is good or bad. Yeah. So if you're in a negative spiral and you start going, you know, I've just broken up or I've lost my job, and then you'll just continue to see bad things. Yeah, right. But as soon as you start looking for something positive, it starts to build.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, I have a wonderfully blessed, happy life. So I understand that sometimes comes across as a bit patronising, because I have a great life. So
yeah, but there's also part of it that is, you know, you've created a lot of that as well.
I think a lot of it is timing, but yeah, it's just that fine line, especially in Australia where you don't ever want to go, yeah, I know everything and here's how to live a great life. But yeah, I do believe in the system of what you think about, you bring about.
Yeah, I totally do too. You didn't realise you wanted to be a writer until you left uni though, is that right?
No, I didn't at all. I didn't do any of the intern stuff that I tell all these girls that email me about. I did one internship, but I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought magazines seemed very glamorous. Yes. And I remember faxing Mia Friedman to do work experience in year 10 at Cosmo. And I was really hurt that she never wrote back. And then I realised, I reckon a few years ago, that I had put the fax the wrong way up.
Are you serious?
So I never even
Have you asked her if she ever got it?
Well, she would have got it because she's a lovely person.
Yeah, she got that pretty quickly.
Yeah, or the admin girl would have, you know, someone would have got back to me going, no, we're full for 10 years. Can't come
for 10 years. We're full forever.
Yeah, but I never chased it up or anything. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to do it at the Novotel then. I did my work experience at the Novotel.
Oh, did you? But you did end up getting in front of Mia. I did. Messaged Mia during the week and I'm like, what was that cheeky story?
Oh, yeah, poor girl. She's had to reel it out 1,000 times. Well, I was at Smash Hits, which was like, I know, as a child.
Did Beck Hewitt used to write Beck's Beat for Smash Hits, or one of those? And I used to love it. I loved Beck
Hits Songwords, which was our main competitor.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was pretty tough. But I applied for a job at Dolly, didn't get it, but I'd written a pretty cheeky, back then, because that's nearly 10 years ago, CV and cover letter. And I think she just liked the cut of my jib. I don't think, I was not qualified for the job, but she called me in for an interview and said, look, this is a wrong job for you, but we can keep an eye on you. And I was just so excited to be in those offices.
Yeah, even to go into the offices.
I was just in awe. So, yeah, she's true to her word. She offered me the Cosmo Beauty editor job about 6 months later.
That is an amazing job for someone. You were a baby.
I was 23 and I had one eyeshadow palette. It was CoverGirl and it was heavily shimmery pastel.
Beautiful.
And I wore it to that bloody interview.
Well, did the job. did the trick?
Yeah, exactly. No, she specifically hired me because I didn't know anything about beauty.
Oh, really? So did they want somebody who didn't know, who could learn along with everyone else?
Well, everyone does. Like, people are like, do you have to be a makeup artist or a skincare specialist to be a beauty editor? No. You're a writer, and your job is to convey what you learn from experts to the people. So you learn it as you go on the job. Within a week, I'd learnt so much from hairstylists and makeup artists and dermatologists. But she liked that I wasn't coming to it jaded, or I hadn't been around, and I had a different tone. And back then my tone was different. It did stand out, but now everyone sort of writes in that conversational, irreverent tone.
Yeah, right, okay.
But it was timing. I was just lucky that she saw that and that I was allowed to write like that.
Do you think because you did write this cover letter where you were pretending to be her...
I think it was a 14-year-old, but I had put a quote at the top from Rupert Murdoch.
Yes, that's right. And so that's what got her attention, is because he was her competitor at that time.
Well, it was Packer versus Murdoch,
Yeah, right. So that was it could have gone either way.
Totally.
Do you reckon that to get, because sometimes it can be so hard, when you don't go to school, go to uni, and then, get into that field, there's so many different ways you can get into magazines, to writing, to radio for me. There's not one path you follow.
No.
Do you think sometimes you have to do little things like that and just go, I'm just going to back myself here, this is a bit cheeky, it could go either way, but I'll get noticed?
Absolutely. More than ever, because everyone has a voice now on social media, on blogs, on podcasts. Like, think to when we started our career, we were so lucky, really, in terms of timing and cementing ourselves in a pretty small market early on. And I think you always got to risk big to win big. Yeah. And you could mess it up hugely, but you always be remembered, I think, good or bad. So you got to back yourself, but you got to make sure it feels right. You don't want to mess it up on the wrong thing.
Yeah, right.
And you got to know who you're talking to. Like, if you're going into a creative industry, you've got to do something creative. You have to show them that you understand the medium and that you understand your audience. It seems very obvious to me.